Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Judith Dials. It's good to see you guys today. So I'm going to get straight into it because I got to go. So today I want to talk about trauma keeping you relationship bound. So is trauma, let me fix myself up a little bit because it's about to go down. Is trauma keeping you relationship bound? Is trauma keeping you from actually getting into a relationship or sticking to a relationship or getting you to the next level of a relationship? So, ladies, let me put this out there. Men are calling ladies crazy out here. They say women are crazy. Now, before you want to jump and get upset and say, oh, well, they crazy too, you may be justified there with that thought process. I can't disagree that there are some crazy men out here. But just because you may be right doesn't necessarily mean that they are wrong, and that there are some crazy women out here. And I want you to understand that we've heard the word crazy so many times as women, or even applied to women, that it goes over our head, and we're not really listening to what they're saying, because what you might not realize is that crazy can actually could actually be the reason why you are not where you want to be in a relationship. Where you might think it's just them just talking to you, it's like to them it's like, okay, no, I'm not getting connected with this woman because she's a bit crazy. So now let me get into it. You want to know if this is you. Is crazy you? And the reason why you want to know this is because if you're looking for a mature masculine man, which is what I'm here to help you all get, or in your relationship goal, you want to make sure that you're not part of the people or the women that they're calling crazy. Because if you're going to get a mature masculine man, we're hoping that he's not crazy. And so healthy people want healthy people. We're not looking to be a healthy man and then want to go get a crazy woman. That just doesn't typically happen that way. Now, does things happen here and there? Yeah, but it don't typically happen that way. So in order to identify if this is you, you first have to get away from being offended at the fact that they're calling women crazy. You want to get rid of the naivety of being naive about the whole situation, about the whole word, and you want to remove ignorance from what that really means, so that you can actually identify what that is. And am I dealing with some sort of crazy trait? Has trauma brought that about? So let's take a look at it. So what is crazy? Now, I got this from Google. Mentally deranged, especially manifested in a wild or aggressive way. So mentally deranged, that's saying unable to think clearly, unable to behave in a controlled way, especially because of mental illness. So now you guys are catching some of these words, this unable to think clearly or unable to behave in a controlled way. And it says especially not just only, but especially because of mental illness. And a lot of us think when we talk about mental illness, we think we're going like way far, like these people psychotic or whatever, but that's not what I'm talking about. Mental illness can literally be something that is like where you're not just at your right mind because of something that happened in life, like a trauma. So what is trauma? Let's take a look at it. A pervasive problem. It results from exposure to an incident or series of events that are emotionally disturbing or life-threatening, with lasting effects on the individual's functioning and mental, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Now, I say all that to say what? Have you dealt with any trauma? Any absent parent, low self-esteem, rape, poverty? Were you bullied? Were you belittled, made fun of, or called stupid all the time, especially in school? Were you dealing with any physical abuse, any mental, sexual, emotional abuse? Any rejection? Have you dealt with rejection? That's a big one for women. Any health issues, any self-esteem issues? dealt with any of those traumas that's been long lasting in your life, that's affected your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, or, way of thinking, well-being is what I'm saying. And if so, ladies, I hate to say, you may have some crazy in you. You may just have some crazy in you. And the thing is, it's probably not been brought to light because for the most part, the people that have to deal with you only have to deal with you for just a little bit of time. And then they done with your crazy and they could go home and get a rest and get some, they could, refresh their day. But when you're considering actually connecting and getting together with a man, unless he's trying to hit it and quit it, a guy is typically looking at, okay, is this woman good for me? For my future, because they're thinking long term, they're thinking about marriage, forever. Can they deal with the trauma, the crazy that come with the trauma, because of the trauma is what they're thinking about. And most of the time, if you have something that that they can't deal with, that's why you might find yourself single. You may not even catch this. Why are you single? Why are you single? You got to keep asking yourself, why are you single? It's been years. Every time I date, I'm like, I'm never getting to the next place. Why is that? It may be a trauma that you have that has brought out a crazy that you have not recognized, and nobody's been telling you, or maybe they have and you've just not paid attention, but nobody's been telling you because you've not had to they've not had to consider forever with you. They've considered, okay, I'm gonna deal with her now, and then I could go back to my own life. I could talk about her later, that kind of stuff. But when you're trying to connect with somebody, covenant kind of thing, they start to think if your trauma, you're crazy, too big for them to handle. Everybody has baggage, okay? He'll come with baggage, you'll come with baggage, but let's be honest. Everybody's baggage is it for any person to bear. Some baggage are way too big to bear, and that you alone need to get rid of that baggage, or you will find yourself remaining single because of the baggage. So how do I figure out what this trauma is that's creating my crazy and being way too heavy of a baggage to carry? One thing you'll have to do is you have to be a self-reflector. And what I say by being a self-reflector, many people don't do this. Many people don't think about what it is, in fact, that people are saying, because typically you'll hear the men are telling you what the problem is, but sometimes we don't really stop and listen. We get so offended. You have to stop being offended, or you will not be able to hear, because though you may be justified, it does not mean that it is right, or to keep continuing. Because, for example, he might say that you're crazy because of how you respond in an argument. Okay, I'll give you an example. How you respond in an argument. You guys are probably going back and forth about something, and he may have said something that hurt your feelings, but how you responded to it really brought out your crazy. So, for example, he might say something to you about trying to think of something really quickly off my head. He might say something about your character that hurt you because of something he said about your character, and you're so offended by what he said, because you might be like, how could you even think that about me? What you mean? How dare you say that about me? Like, you sitting here walking around like you all that, like you got your stuff together. Now, let's be honest, ladies, instead of receiving or trying to hear what they're trying to tell us, we quickly go to their faults. Like, well, you want to talk, you're one to say something about it, and they may not be one to talk, but it doesn't change the fact that you have a way of reacting that might come out crazy, because your response might be so offended that you cuss them out, you yell uncontrollably, you slam the wall or the door, you may hit them, or just you might say offensive things towards him, like just hurt, like purposely try to hurt him, you know, just different things, a way of reacting. And the only reason you're reacting this way is because of a trauma that may have happened in your past. For example, a person that's affected by someone trying to talk to them about their character, and they can't hear it, is because they probably had dealt with, let's see, a parent probably rejecting them for years, or they've never come out good enough for their parents. Let's say that. They probably never was good enough for their parents. And so when their parents rejected them because they felt like they weren't good enough, when they get into a relationship and their man is saying something about their character that they probably need to improve, instead of hearing that, they take that quickly as a rejection. And then because of that pain that they felt as a child, they will overreact in a discussion or a back and forth between them and their partner. And there is that crazy, because if he's not a person that's dealt like that, you know, you coming out like that seems like nothing to you because you're so used to it. But to him, it's like, can I actually live like this with the woman for the rest of my life, where I'm trying to show her something, or, you know, about herself that she can improve, or teach her something that she can change a bit. But when I talk to her about that, she overreacts. She cusses me. I mean, she loses it. I mean, blood rush. She goes crazy. Can I really connect myself and get into a relationship with a woman like this? I don't know if I can. And so they call you crazy, and they done. They might not call you crazy, and they might be just done, because they just figure in their minds, this woman's not mature enough to deal with stuff in life. How can she be my woman? That's one example. Let's say you dealt with a trauma of rejection, you know. The minute you see him seeming like he's taking a man time, which men like to take their own free time just away from a woman that doesn't have anything to do with her. The minute you see that, and you overreact, and you start asking him a bunch of questions, you start going crazy, you're getting a bit insecure, and you just lose it. That's a crazy that you probably haven't recognized. That's a crazy you haven't recognized. Let's say you came from self-esteem issues. Let's say you came from having self-esteem issues, just never, I mean, I'm looking at the list. I got a bunch of stuff. Like, let's say you had an absent parent, and you're afraid that he might, you had an absent parent, so you've been used to a person leaving you, and so now that you're with him, you're holding on too tight. Ooh, you're holding on too tight. He'll start saying things like, I can't breathe, because you're holding on too tight. You almost want to control everything, because you're afraid that if something looks like what you saw as a child, you'll feel that abandonment. And then you'll start making him feel like, you know, you start making him be the issue of your own trauma that you dealt with as a child. And now, like, holding on too tight, now he really wants to get free from you, because again, that's crazy. It might be normal to you because it's something that you're used to, but to him it's crazy. So Judith, you've identified a few things about me. So now what do I do? How do I heal that? How do I find out my real traumas? Because I may have been in my trauma so long, I don't even know what they are sometimes. Well, let me tell y'all something. Judith is only Judith. I'm only Judith Dials, but I know who can help you. God can. And every time you come to my stories, in my page, in my channel, I am not going to take away the power of God and say that Judith has all the answers. No, Judith does not. Judith can lead you to get into the answers, but I don't have all the answers. Only God can do that for you. So what do? You fast. You fast, because when you fast, you're basically denying yourself and allowing God to be able to speak to you, and you'll be able to hear clearly. And you'll find that God will tell you so many things about you. Boy, I tell you, every time I fast, I hear God telling me, oh, pride. Oh, you've got, what's the other issue recently? I don't know, but it'll be this, okay? you've got, condemning, you condemn yourself a lot. It'll be just different things he'll tell you about yourself, and then you find that a lot of it came back from your childhood, and where the enemy tried to take stuff from you, put stuff on you. Matter of fact, he tried to put stuff on you, take the stuff God gave to you, and then create you to be this whole human being, this whole adult, with creating a whole identity based off of the stuff that the enemy either took away from you or gave you. And so you become an adult with a whole identity that has somewhat to do with crazy. And you find yourself unable to get in relationships, hold down a relationship because of some of the stuff that the enemy brought to you and you did not even realize. So what do? You find out what it is by you pray, you ask God, you pray, you ask God. If you're not saved, you got to get saved. Why? Because you need to get the Holy Spirit in you. Once that Holy Spirit is in you, then the Holy Spirit start revealing things to you and leading you and teaching you things and showing you things that only He can do. Okay? Only He can do that for you. So go ahead and ask God, what is it that I need to know, so that I can change about myself, so that I could get myself in this relationship. Because I know I'm good. I'm meant for a relationship. I'm a good woman. I know I'm a good woman. But what are these things that are keeping me from not getting the things that you want? What are the things that is keeping me from getting into the relationship? Father, talk to me, God. Let me know, God. And He'll show you. But you have to start asking. Ask and keep on asking. Seek and keep on seeking. Knock and keep on knocking. The doors will be open. God will open His door. He will show you, but you have to do the work. We always want to get into a relationship but don't do the work. We want things, but we don't want to do the work. Every time you go looking for a job, you do every research you can. You do all the changes that you need to get your resume together. But what about relationship? Your resume ain't together just because you think it's together. When you go to the manager, to a manager of a job, you don't just present yourself and say, hey, take me as I am. No, you looking for them they looking to hire you. So you're looking to make sure that you're the best that you can be, but you also qualify for the job. There's qualifications to be in a relationship, to be in a marriage. You have to meet his needs. He has to meet your need. A woman was made to be a helpmate, and the helpmate ain't what you think it's supposed to be. Sometimes it's got to be, it's got to be what he may need, and only God can show you these things. Only God can show you what you need to work on right now until you meet Him, and then He can tell you His stuff. But then, for the most part, God can tell you what needs to be done. He can uproot the things that He didn't place in you. I think that's it for me, because I do have to go. This video could actually be extremely long, because there's so much more that I can get into and dive deeper into this. But that's where I'm gonna leave you at today, because there's so much more that you can work on right now. So what are you gonna do? Stop being offended by the word crazy, because if you got some trauma, which everybody does, then let's work on it. Let's find out what it is. Stop being offended by it. Just start working on what it is. Find out, pray, fast, ask God, what is it? What is it from my trauma that has created some crazy that I need to fix right now to change my life, to get the relationship that I'm looking for, God? So you're going to stop being offended. You're going to pray, you're going to fast, you're going to ask, you're going to keep on asking, seek, keep on seeking, knock, keep on knocking, and let the Lord show you. Okay? And here's the third thing you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and share this page, share this video, because if this helped you guys, I know it's going to help a lot of people. Okay? Share this page and talk to everybody about this page, because it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. And also, last but not least, most important, I need you guys to know that I have officially opened up my mentoring program. I am not going to get too many people because too many people will not allow me to really give what I need to give you guys. So what is this mentoring program? This mentoring program is going to help you be able to get the man that you are looking for. I will teach you strategies. I will teach you things. I will teach you things that's personalized to you, because we're going to have some one-on-one sessions. We're also going to have some group sessions. You're going to have some homework. You're going to have some videos, pre-recorded videos to watch. It's not going to be time consuming as, you know, like you guys may think. It might only require 1 or 2 hours of your time a week, maybe even less. And but it will require a lot of work within you, because we've got to change. If we've been stuck on not being able to get into a relationship, because that means because something there's some things that we need to learn. So it's going to require you to do some work on your own. But the class is going to open. Matter of fact, it is open. Excuse me, it is opened. One-on-one sessions, and then I will put you guys into the group sessions. It's 1 month. It's a 1 month training, guys. Right now it's at $100, but if you get it within my early bird special, which is starting today up until next week Monday, I'll make it $75. It's $100, but the early bird special is from today to next Monday, $75. Again, my space is very limited because I really am very passionate about people getting married. Why do I want people to get married? Because I want families. I want families. I want kids to grow up with their mom and dad. I want relationships. Okay? I think that's important. I think it's important for the kingdom of God. All right? So I want to help you do that, but you've got to help yourself by actually signing up. Go to my website, judiththals.com. Sign up for my one-on-one coaching, and it's $100, $75 for the early bird special. Matter of fact, I don't know if I put that 75 up yet, but if you are interested, go ahead and send me an email at judiththals.coaching.com. That's it for me. I also have some shirts online. If you are interested, I will have them all mailed out in, what's the month are we in? June. So it'll be mid-July. So if you're interested, go ahead and get your pre-order. I will have them all mailed out in July, mid-July. All right, that's it for me. Good seeing you guys. Good talking to you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. I am going to try to make a video as much as I can every single day. That's it for me. Y'all have a good day. Judith Thals. Mwah. Love you guys.